Hi, and welcome to Vibes Daily. This is a daily devotional curated by Vibes Church to help you practice the way of Jesus and be all that God has called you to be. You have joined us for our year-long series titled Devoted. Acts 2:42 tells us that the followers of Jesus were devoted to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to breaking of bread, and to prayer. This podcast was created to provide context and commentary for what you read each day. Just before our friends begin discussing today's reading, we want to invite you not only for fellowship, but for prayer as well. We have created the Vibe Daily Chat Group to offer you fellowship and a community where you can state your observations, ask questions about the reading or the podcast. You can join us by downloading the Vibes Church app in your favorite app store. Click Join the Conversation and join us today. And finally, we hope that you can join us for prayer. Prayer happens Monday through Friday, and more information on that can be found on the Vibes Church app under prayer. Now, let's begin our conversation on today's reading.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Dylan. Once again, we are here. We are in day 201. 201.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yes, of our series called Devoted, where we are reading the Bible cover to cover. And today we are in Song of Songs, about to go through the rest of the book. Today I'm with my let me hold on.
Are you trying to find a good
I'm Give me a second. I am with my beautiful darling, my beautiful Jerusalem,
I like it.
my beautiful garden, Shamika Allen. Make some noise for Shamika.
Hey guys.
That was a long intro, but I don't care.
I love it.
I was really trying to find something.
You trying to find something good.
Yeah, I was trying to find something real good. I should have thought about it before we recorded. Anywho, we are in chapters 1 through 8 today, which will conclude.
Nuh-uh.
I said 1 through 8, 5 through 8, which will conclude our reading for this week. You guys have done a great job. 2 books in 1 week.
Yes.
Give you
Awesome
job.
Just amazing.
just amazing. All right, babe. So, what stands out to you in chapter 5?
Yeah, so we ended yesterday with this whole like garden talk, right?
Hey, man, that's when they started getting real serious.
Exactly. And so it continues to get real serious where you get to hear the guy's response as for to the woman's response of this whole like, blow on my garden. I want you to smell like the fragrance of my fruit so that you can like, basically be attracted and like come towards me. And so it starts off fresh. He's like, I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb and my honey, and I have drunk my wine and my milk. And so you see this, like he's responding to her like, okay, I'm in the garden now. And so again, I just love that it's like this continuation of this story of like, all right, you telling me, you dropping hints of what a garden is, and now I'm coming and I'm like to the garden, and here go the friends. Eat, friends, and drink your fill of love. I just love these little friends. They just like encouraging them on throughout the way. But yeah, that stuck out to me first.
That's dope. Yeah, again, the Lord, he's so creative. Like, if anybody had any doubts about him being creative, y'all tripping. Because like I visualize all of it. Like you said, this conversation that's being held.
Yeah.
Where it seems like she's inviting him over to the garden. He's partaking in the things that she invited him to partake in.
Yeah.
All of that is really dope. I think what stands out to me in this chapter, trying to find it. What's cool is that now he has talked about, like last chapter, he talked about like her lips, her teeth, or all these things, and I feel like she's being not receptive. What's the word? She's reciprocating
Yeah.
back to him what was given to her.
Yeah.
Verses 10 through 16, where she's talking about, my lover is dark and dazzling, better than 10,000 others. His head, like again, head as fine as his gold, eyes,
Oh yeah.
cheeks,
yeah.
lips, arms, body, legs, posture, and his mouth, like all of that. I just love how like
that.
she's giving him his props.
Come on now. His legs are pillars of. I love your legs, baby.
Thank you.
No, that's cool. Yeah, because that was the one thing that really stuck out to me yesterday. Seeing him just kind of be descriptive and point those different things out. So it's cool that you noticed it for the girl. Her do those things.
Speak about your man, sis.
You like to be affirmed.
God.
Come on now. No, that's really cool. Just kind of backtracking a little bit in this same chapter though. Where she starts off in verse 2, she said, I slept, but my heart was awake. Listen, my beloved is knocking. And I just kind of really visualize or just can see this whole, this her whole yearning or desire for this man, where it's just like, when you first started dating, let's just say when we first started dating and stuff, and we had some really good conversations of getting to know each other and stuff, and it's like you be so giddy, like you can't wait to talk to the person, right? So it's like you went to sleep, but you really wasn't sleep kind of stuff, because all you could do is just think about and replay the conversations and remember oh yeah, they voice sound like this and all that stuff. So that's kind of where I got from that. And then in verse 3, she said, I have taken off my robe. Must I put it on again? I'm like, oh, is she alluding to well, the robe's already off, let's get to it kind of thing. And then it goes on in verse 4, my beloved thrust his hand through the latch opening. And I'm like, what? My heart began to pound for him. I arose to open for my beloved, and my hands dripped with myrrh. My fingers would flow in myrrh on the handles of the bolt. I opened for my beloved, but my beloved had left. He was gone. My heart sank at his departure. So I'm just like, and then continue on. She's saying she looked for him, but she didn't find him. She called, but she didn't answer. Then it says, the watchmen found me as they made their rounds in the city. They beat me, they bruised me, and I'm like, hold on, how did we get here? I'm like, what? She really went to go find him, and then apparently got beat. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, again, this whole, awaiting to, I guess, consummate, if you will.
Yeah.
Has been prominent in the reading.
Yeah, I think trying to look at the description for those verses. All they do describes how she feels. Yeah, because when you were talking, it reminds going back to my little theory of this being about the church and about Jesus. Jesus going away for 3 days, and ultimately her expressing how these watchmen were beating her up is a description of her sorrow and despair with him being gone.
Nice.
And yeah, it just makes me think about, like I said, Jesus. One, the way that she talks about him is like us praising Jesus. And the way that he responds to her is like how Jesus thinks of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Our being his beloved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And even Man, I didn't think about this yesterday whenever you mentioned it, but if it is this whole imagery of that, how symbolic the garden could be to the garden, the original garden, right? Like Adam
Yeah.
and Eve and that whole space.
Inheritance in heaven.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else in this chapter, but in chapter 6, verse 6, your teeth are like a flock of sheep coming up from the washing. Each has its twin. Not one of them is missing. Again, the same description he talked about yesterday. I said he's really a teeth guy, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, it's becoming, and this is what marriage is all about. It's one of the things that marriage is about. It's how can I outlove you?
Ooh.
Like that's the
Come on now.
competition. You know what I'm saying?
No, but for real, yes.
And I just see this back and
That's
forth of like them complimenting each other.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but your cheeks are like pomegranate, and
No, but your cheeks are like pomegranate.
no, but your teeth is like Colgate, and
Your teeth is as white as snow.
but your hair is like Coca-Cola flavored cotton candy,
And your hair is like sheep's wool.
and your eyes is like the bosom of a bison,
And your eyes are as brown as milk.
and your
honey.
skin is like Jesus Christ himself. I won.
You didn't.
You can't go higher than that. Can't go higher than that. Jesus is the ultimate.
Yeah, you got me.
I mean, you can go to the Father. He's above it.
I'm tapping out.
Oh, yeah. No, but yeah, that's what I think, like, I'm noticing
That's hilarious.
in these chapters. It's like this back and forth.
Yeah. Verses 8 and 9 had me kind of think, okay, maybe this could be Solomon. It says 60 queens, there may be, and 80 concubines and virgins beyond number, but my dove, my perfect one, is unique. And then it continues, it says, the young women saw her and called her blessed. The queens and concubines praised her. So then I was like, okay, she ain't the only one.
Yeah. It sound like again, the imagery that I'm trying to imagine.
Is the church, like,
Israelites.
got you.
and The nations are looking at the Israelites like,
Yeah.
y'all cool.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah. Come on now, you better make it.
How many times they gonna say pomegranates in this scripture?
You want
Pomegranates is the
You want
most.
some pomegranates?
I do. Now I know it's so biblical. I gotta be obedient. There's only a few fruits that's like mentioned in the Bible.
Come on.
You gotta take heed to it.
Pomegranate.
Pomegranates seem very anointed.
I was. It's holy.
Do you have a pomegranate spirit in you? Okay, let me stop.
What in the world? What's happening?
Anything else? Chapter 6.
Nope. Well, we only got 2 more chapters, y'all. Like, this crazy. Like,
We pushing through.
we are.
Anything in 7?
Well, I'm sure there is some things. But I wonder if I don't want to say it. I want you to. I want to see what you got out of it first.
Why?
Because there's this. Every time I see the parts where it says, I'm gonna just go down to verse 8. May your breasts be like clusters of grapes on the vine, the fragrance of your breath like apples, in your mouth like the best wine. I'm just like, I imagine that just standing out for you.
Why? Why do you think that we standing out for
Just
me?
a God thing, you know.
I guess, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Bible, it literally says in my description here, the husband describes their lovemaking and ascends her body, and caresses her breasts. That's what the Bible says.
Yeah. So again, like, we laugh about it and we joke about it now, but it's good to know that, one, God created sex, and because He created it, it's a beautiful thing, and it's an act of worship, right? It's where physically our bodies become one.
Yeah.
Is, as a physical representation of that, and so, it's cool to see that we don't shy away from that, even in God's word, where no, like, He's like, yes, you have breasts, I've created those, and like, also your spouse and stuff gets to enjoy that, and like all those different things. And so again, like, it's something that is cool to see, because He created it means it has to be good, and it's something that we shouldn't look at in a bad way of so yeah. And of course, got to be in context, like, we don't ever want to pervert like what He's created, or even like try to take advantage of a gift that He has that outside of the context of where He designed it, which is in marriage. And so yeah, I feel like it's cool to see this. And I was gonna ask you a question earlier. I had thought about it. You and I did wait for each other before marriage, and again, like, because a lot of this song of songs, like, is this whole like awaiting and preparation and stuff for this like marriage, if you will. Like, is there not anything you could relate to, or like, how was that journey for you of like waiting for the promise of being able to enjoy what God has created for marriage?
It was exciting and what's the word? Difficult.
Amen.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult, but it was exciting, like knowing that, like, we was gonna consummate our marriage, and that you would be mine forever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool. I can agree, because I think, some people may or may not want to talk about it, but it's just like, that's one of the things that you are looking forward to as a single and becoming married, and being able to just do it in the right context, and knowing that God is
honored,
like, it is something that he blesses. And so I think that's cool.
Yep. Let's go to chapter 8.
All right. Oh wait, before you go to chapter 8 though, verse 10 in chapter 7, I belong to my beloved, and his desire is for me. I thought that was nice.
Oh, you said verse 10?
Yeah, verse 10.
Mine says, I am my lover's, and he claims me as his own.
Come on. Now that do sound like with the part where it says he claimed me as his own. Like, I'm like, that's how God is with me.
Mm-hmm.
He does claim me as his
Yep.
own. Anyways, we can move on to chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
Oh, this is the last chapter, y'all.
It is. I would bring you to my childhood home, and there you would teach me. I would give you spiced wine to drink, my sweet pomegranate wine. Here's something that we said earlier. Your left arm would be under my head, and your right arm would embrace me.
Yep, they said it again. So that was the second time that they said it. And then, do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires.
Mm-hmm.
So I do love that we start off with these same like verses, if you will, and then it's like the book closes out with the same thing. It's kind of like the sandwich, if you will, of like a good way for them to just close it out.
Again, it's still teaching the Israelites something in the midst of this poetry and this satire, like saying, "Hey, the time will come, and just let it happen. Don't rush."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even in verse 6 is because this book is really talking about love. It says, "For love is as strong as death, its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like blazing fire, like a mighty flame. Many waters cannot quench love. Rivers cannot sweep it away. If one were to give all the wealth of one's house for love, it would be utterly scorned." And I just thought it was so interesting because I feel like these verses really kind of puts into like description the passion and just like the power or magnitude of love.
Yeah.
And I think it's so true because, again, having this imagery of like either this courtship or this engagement or even this marriage is like one of the things that I feel like we probably all can relate to is just really desiring love. Like really desiring, like in seeking and pursuing and like all that stuff, right? And so yeah, I can definitely see why it is something that is just like it's as strong as death, because it's just like there's so much power in it. And so yeah,
I agree. I think love is the word itself. It's simple, but it's the most complex word in the entire world, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and it's difficult to do, but it's beautiful and it's purposeful and it's powerful and it's unshakable and it wins. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
It definitely stood out to me too. Anything else in chapter 8? No,
I think I think just to kind of close it out, I just feel like just a beautiful song and poetry, if you will, of like this exchange of love and passion for someone other than yourself. And I think even like in the past 2 days that we talked about, I feel like it's really good to see this affirmation desire for another person, but also just that reminder that in context, like, it's beautiful. Love is beautiful. Being able to enjoy your love is beautiful, and just super encouraged by it. And again, there was some verses that stuck out this week about not arousing love until it's time. And I feel like just for application for those who may be single and that's really desiring to find their one, that in timing it's going to come and it's going to be perfect. And even that to continue to strive to keep yourself for that person that God has for you, because there's just beauty that comes out of it, and it's fruitful. So
Yep. Well, good job, Boo Boo. You did a good job.
You did a good job.
I didn't do anything. I was just hosting. But we are now going to go back in time. Next week, we are going to go through one of the most coolest sections in the Bible, in my opinion. We're almost at the end of the Old Testament.
That's wild to think about.
But we are going through all of the prophets, the major prophets and the minor prophets.
Yep.
Don't let those words just, trick you into thinking that one is better than the other. Major and minor just means major has longer chapters, and minor means it's shorter books. So going into Isaiah next week. My mom and Pastor Eric will be coming back to host. My mom will be here for the first time being with us. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this week. It was a lot of different things to chew on. If you need some time to, go back and rest or even reiterate what you've read, do so, man. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys have a rest of your weekend. Get some rest. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next week.